Hey guys, welcome to my animal chit chat vlog. Today I'll be talking about something so important, and that is the 5 animal needs. Now, the 5 animal needs is a guidance on how pet owners, what pet owners should think about before purchasing their pet. So always, before you get a pet, please do your research. Don't just go to a pet shop and go, I want to get a rabbit, but you don't know what sort of things that a rabbit needs. Please don't do that, because it will make me cry. It will make me cry, and it could make the animal ill. So I'm just going to go through the animal needs that are really, these are 5. There's only 5, so yes, you can wait. So the first one is shelter. So all animals have their own sort of shelter that they need. For example, my frogs have their terrarium. It's suitable for them because it's long lasting and it keeps in the humidity, and they can climb on the glass instead of just their logs. They can stick to it. If they sort of jump into the glass won't smash. Frogs seem to love to do that for some reason, so it's good that the glass is quite thick. If I was to put it in something like a pop-up net, what do you think will happen? Well, what will happen is it won't be, the frogs won't be warm enough. The net is not long lasting for things like amphibians. It's not suitable at all, okay? Never keep them in a net. I actually saw somebody keep them in a plastic container with some holes drilled. I wouldn't recommend putting them in a bin cage at all. I just don't like the idea of it because they are too small. They need to have more height than width, because frogs are arboreal. Yeah, and this plastic container had no logs, not much substrate, just a lid, and it was absolutely disgusting. So please do your research. Depending on the animal you have, it won't be the same for you. If you want to get a different animal like a hamster, it might be something else you're looking for. Something like that. Just make sure you've got the right shelter. Make sure your shelter has got a proper lid. It isn't broken. Your animal can't chew through it, because some wooden enclosures you get for hamsters, I wouldn't suggest getting a wooden one. So many people do, and their hamster ends up escaping because they gnaw straight through it. Just things like that. Also, if maybe the enclosure you got is secondhand, that's fine. I've got a secondhand tank. Just make sure it hasn't got massive holes in it, or if you have you've got a hutch or something and there's a few screw loose and it's not, it's falling over. You don't want it falling when the rabbit is inside it, or the guinea pig inside it. So you've got to make sure your enclosure is safe for your animal. Basically, you've got to have a nice, safe shelter. So the next one is to be housed or housed without its own species. So loads of animals are social. So guinea pigs, gerbils, frogs, rats, but there's other animals that are solitary as well. For example, hamsters. So I got a hamster recently, and I've had hamsters for years. Not years, leaping into one, not consecutively. But when I was younger, I had a phase when I had loads of hamsters, and they are strictly solitary. And I got a hamster recently because I miss having a hamster. And you don't house them, especially Syrians, with another hamster, because they fight. You see all these YouTube videos of hamster play dates. No, I'm sorry, but not happening. It's disgusting, okay? Do not have a play date with your hamster. They can't be put in together. Never put animals that are solitary in together, because that means no, they can't be housed together, okay? Also things like guinea pigs, they can be housed together, but there's a certain number of males, or there's a certain group, a certain number of guinea pigs you can house together. So don't go over that. My ladybirds, you can't house more than 10 together. So they can be housed together, but over a certain number, then if they go over a certain number, so if I put 15 in there, they'll kill each other or try and eat each other, because 10 is the limit. They can be carnivorous, beetles, especially ladybirds. So that's, it's just, you just gotta, again, research it. So the next one is very important, of course, the need for a suitable diet slash water. So diet is very important. It will vary with each animal. For example, my animals, my white tree frogs, they are carnivorous, so they eat things like hoppers and locusts, and waxworms on occasion, not too much because Luna just eats them all, and yeah, she's just too greedy and too sort of, yeah, I don't give her too many because it's bad for them. And she also has a supplement. Both of them have supplements, white tree frogs, and they have calcium and vitamin powder. Just small traces. Too much can be poisonous. So they need that in their diet. Guinea pigs need vitamin C because they can't synthesize their own. It's just sort of, dietary needs, really, I would say. Just make sure you get your dietary needs right for your animals, because if they're lacking that dietary supplement, they could die. If I didn't give my frogs any calcium or vitamin powder whatsoever, they can get MBD. But if I gave them too much if I gave them too much MBD, sorry, if I gave them too much calcium and vitamin powder, there's phosphorus in that, and too much phosphorus can actually cause MBD as well. So it's about balance, and you've got to make sure you give them the right dietary supplements. If you've got a hamster, you've got to make sure they have dry mixes as well as fruit, veg, and meaty things, because they are omnivores. People think they're they eat veg and that's it. That's not true. They eat different things. They're omnivores like us. Okay. So it's just sort of thinking about diet, and obviously water, of course, daily fresh water, completely fresh. Does your water need to be treated with Repticase? So if you've got an amphibian or reptile, is how often do you need to change your water depending on the weather and depending on how frequent they use it. If my frogs use it twice a day, if they use it a lot, I do clean it out twice a day and give them fresh water, because frogs do drink through their skin and they cannot drink dirty water. Would you like to drink water with your own poo in? I don't think so. It'd be gross. So just sort of things like that, sort of basic sort of needs, like we need water, think about it. So the next one is the need to exhibit their natural behavior. So each animal, you bring them out from the wild, you put them in an enclosure, you need enrichment, so things like toys for them to be able to exhibit their normal natural behavior. So my frogs like to climb, so I've got a log for them to climb up, a branch for them to climb up, and I have got a log for them to hide in for when they do their hunting at night and want to hide. For my hamster, I've got lots of sort of bedding for it. I've done sort of layers so it can tunnel, because they tunnel at night. They tunnel, so they like to sort of make tunnels and burrows and stuff like that. You've got to give these sort of toys or enrichment so animals can sort of exhibit their normal behavior, otherwise they can become very stressed indeed. So the next one is the need to be protected from illness, disease, and injury, or even better, prevent that from happening, because it's your animal. You need to take care of it. So if your animal, if I gave my animals too much calcium and vitamin powder, they would get MBD, and I said this earlier. And if I gave them too much, they could do the same. So to prevent that from happening, I need to make sure I give them the balanced amount of calcium and vitamin powder. Okay, so I can't just throw it in, and I can't not give it at all. So you can prevent them from getting a disease, an illness, an injury by taking steps to overall make your shelter better, make sure their diet is correct, things like that. And if your animal is ill and you suspect it, if they're acting in an unusual way, like they normally don't, to bring it to the vet. Or if they've got a mark that looks very deep, or take it to the vet. Okay, don't just leave it. Don't just think it's going to get better, unless it's just one time that they act that way. That's fine. But if it's consecutive, take it to the vet. Don't just leave it. At the end of the day, if you can't afford to pay for your animals to go to the vet, you shouldn't have that pet. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. If you can't pay for their health, then they're going to get sick and die. And it's just, you just don't, if you can't protect them from illness, disease, and injury, then you can't really look after that animal. And most importantly, health check your animal. You want, you love your animal, you want to make sure your animal is okay. So pick your animal up, or if you can't, just observe, sort of like, if you have dart tree frogs, poison dart frogs, I want to get some poison dart frogs, but I know you can't handle them very much. Just look at them, or I pick my frogs up and I have a look and I health check. So you start from the eyes and the head and you work down to the bottom. Don't start from the bottom, because that's the dirty end. So things like that. I might do a video on health checking. I did do a little one of frogs in my frog nutrition and behaviour one, so if you want to check that out, that's fine. But I will probably do one with my hamster when she's more used to handling, or I might do it on an insect or something, just to show you what health checking is. But it's so important that you take your animal to a vet and take care of it, and doing all these things, and carrying out these 5 animal needs can prevent injury, it can prevent disease as well. So please follow them, and please don't just turn up to a store and go, I'm gonna get that animal, because even if you ask the the people who work at the pet store, they might not know either. And you might end up getting an animal, not really know what to do with it. So please do your research. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please hit that lovely subscribe button, and you can go to my website if you want to find out some more information about insects and frogs and things, and I will be doing some sort of hamster care sheets as well. So that's www.animalchitsy.com. And if you want to see what I'm up to on Instagram, then it's at Animal Chit Chat 97. And yeah, if you have any questions about the 5 animal needs or anything on my channel, please put a comment below. Yeah, thank you for watching. Goodbye.